So with Jaguars minicamp ending just a couple of weeks ago and training camp beginning in about a month, we are currently at the deadest period of the NFL season. So the only news that I'm going to be breaking is going to be either good news or bad news. If it's good news, it's most likely Yannick Ngakoue agreeing to an extension with the Jaguars. If it's bad news, it's going to be somebody getting arrested. Like a couple years ago where Dante Fowler tried to return some groceries into a lake and things like that. Now, there could be some funny news that comes out. I wouldn't mind a player like a Le'Veon Bell situation where a couple of hookers rob somebody of their money, because that'd be kind of funny. If I were to project a player to get robbed by a couple of hookers, I would probably guess, you know what, I'm not going to do that. It may lead to some controversy on the channel, but you guys can in the comments down below. However, with the dead period of the NFL comes a period of time where you kind of wonder what type of videos to make. So why not come out with a list? I come out with a list of the 5 most intriguing Jaguars players going into 2019. So without further ado, let's discuss. So coming in at number 5 on my list is Jaguars defensive tackle Taven Bryan. Now, Taven Bryan was a very mysterious pick in the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft, drafted at number 29, as the Jaguars were pretty deep at the defensive line. So they drafted Taven Bryan, and he was playing a position last year that he wasn't a natural fit in. They tried to force him into the defensive end position at the strong side defensive end spot, backing up Calais Campbell. Now, the reason they put him there was, I think, because it was a pretty crowded defensive tackle group. You had guys like Marcel Darius there, Malik Jackson, Avery Jones, and they were just trying to fit Taven Bryan in a position that really wasn't fit for him. You know, with defensive end DeJuan Smoot kind of underperforming, they thought maybe we can force him into this spot. And he just wasn't very good at the position. And they finally wound up moving him back to defensive tackle, which he was a lot better at. Now, he's definitely not a fan favorite amongst Jaguar fans. A lot of it was because of his really just minimal production. He was at least able to play in all 16 games, so he stayed healthy. However, he only had 20 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, and 1 sack. But with him playing most of the season at defensive end, like I said, he was a natural fit there. You know, if you were Marcel Darius, for example, is a great 3-technique nose tackle for the Jaguars. But if you were to put him at defensive end, he would not look very good. So that was the same situation with Taven Bryan. So you're going to put him back at the 3-technique position, which he's a lot better fit at, and he should be seeing a lot more snaps with Malik Jackson no longer on the team. He should be seeing a lot more snaps in 2019. He's a very powerful dude, so we'll really see what he can do in 2019. So I'm very interested in Taven Bryan. He comes in at number 5 of my most intriguing Jaguars. Now, coming in next at this list at number 4 is left tackle Cam Robinson. Now, Cam Robinson had a pretty good rookie season. A lot of people thought he was great. I thought he was just solid and, you know, kind of good. Now, he was really good at the run game, helping Fournette and the whole Jaguars offense lead the NFL in rushing. However, he was a little bit slow on his feet when the pass protection game, and he came into the 2018 training camp and preseason a little bit out of shape. I thought he was a little bit unimpressing, and he wasn't really able to show his worth in the 2018 season, as he tore his ACL in week 2 against the Patriots, which shelved him the whole entire 2018 season. So he may miss a little bit of time coming back into training camp, but I would expect him to be a full go by week 1 of the 2019 season. So we'll really see what Cam Robinson has to offer. Now, this will be going into his 3rd season, and we need Cam Robinson to be good. We need to start hitting on these draft picks so we don't have to go out and sign expensive free agents from other teams. We want to be able to draft players well and sign our own players. Sign guys like, in a perfect world, we'd be able to have enough money to sign Jalen Ramsey, Yannick Ngakoue, and Myles Jack. But due to really the type of drafts that it looks like we've been having, at least in the 2017 and maybe 2018 draft, it's got to be a situation where we can really hit on these guys and they become great players. So Cam Robinson at left tackle, I really hope he comes back in shape. I really hope he comes back with his head on right and that he can be a franchise left tackle, because that's obviously a cornerstone position for our team. So I'm really interested to see what Cam Robinson has when he comes back. I think we know that left guard Andrew Norwell would be good. In my opinion, I think he's going to be good. I think our center Brandon Linder, when he is in there, he's really good. So we could have a really good unit from the left tackle to center spot, with the left side of the offensive line being the strong suit really to our offense. So Cam Robinson, I'm intrigued by what he has when he comes back. Now, number 3 on this list is Leonard Fournette. Now, Leonard Fournette in 2017 was electric. He was really the power behind our offense. I mean, he was the key to our offense. In 2017, he rushed for 1,040 yards with 9 touchdowns, and that is missing 3 games from that. And he was the bell cow for the Jaguars. I mean, he was everything we really wanted him to be. But in 2018, he regressed in a big way. You know, he had 439 yards on the ground, 5 touchdowns. He only really played, I believe, in 4 complete games. So it was a really down year for Fournette. Now, a lot of this, pretty much most of this, was because of the lingering hamstring injury that he suffered week 1 against the Giants. You know, he suffered that. He tried to come back 2-3 weeks later against the Jets, re-injured it, then they shelved him for the whole first half of the season. And when he came back, the Jaguars were already a dumpster fire. The offensive line was horrible. The quarterback play was really bad. And it was just not a very good opportunity for him to come back. So while a lot of this has to do with just the supporting cast around him, part of the blame definitely does have to go on him, as it just didn't seem like he was all there mentally. He admitted that he wasn't in the best of shape. But we're going to put all that in the past, and hopefully the Leonard Fournette in 2019 has his head on right, comes in great shape, and comes in focused, because if Leonard Fournette can play at a great level, the Jaguars will, I think, be a pretty good team in 2019. I mean, they invested a number 4 overall pick in Fournette, so hopefully he can live up to that hype, just like Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, and Saquon Barkley did when they were drafted in a top 10 of their respective drafts. So Leonard Fournette, really excited to see what he has. He's very low in average draft position in fantasy leagues, so I'm probably going to wind up drafting him in every league of mine, and hopefully he doesn't let me down again like he did in 2018. Anyway, we'll move on to the number 2 most intriguing player, and that is wide receiver DJ Chark. Now, when you look at DJ Chark's measurables, he has all the tools that you want. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. He ran a 4.3 40 at the NFL Combine, for God's sakes. He's big and he's fast. He's great in special teams. He's a good blocker, but he needs to be able to develop as a wide receiver. Now, when I look back on it, I said, okay, DJ Chark was injured much of the 2018 season. But he really wasn't injured as much as I thought he was. He was only injured during weeks 11 through 15. Then he was also injured in week 17. Now, it would have been valuable for him to play in that time, because he would have been able to get a lot of garbage time due to us just being bad in those days. And usually the second half of the season is when rookies really tend to perform a lot better. But he was not given that opportunity. Now, of course, you know, he dealt with bad quarterback play. There was not much of a run game, so it's hard to really judge exactly how good he is, and rookie wide receivers never really put on very well. But I hope he can have a big season in 2019. I mean, some of the things that he has to work on his hands, man. I mean, he dropped a couple of crucial catches in 2018, most notably against the Eagles, when he could have had a game-winning catch, but he dropped it. Just improve on the hands. Hopefully with a guy like Nick Foles, like DJ Chark is like the dream receiver for Nick Foles, and DJ Chark was a second-round pick in 2018, and the Jaguars told him on the phone that they had him as a first-round grade. So DJ Chark, I like big receivers. I like the physical tools that he has. He wore the magical number 7 at LSU, which they give to really the star player on the team. Leonard Fournette wore it. Tyrann Honey Badger Matthew wore it. DJ Chark wore it. So hopefully he can come into 2019 and have a big season for us at the wide receiver position. And I think if he does better, we'll have guys like D.D. Westbrook emerge and all the other wide receivers around them emerge. And hopefully we can actually have a deep ball threat. Now, the number one most intriguing player on this list has to be quarterback Nick Foles. Now, Nick Foles will make or break the Jaguars in 2019. Now, obviously, they gave him a big deal. I think it was like, what, 4 years, $88 million or something like that. This is a big contract, and it's just so tough. I mean, as a Jaguars optimist, a Jaguars fan, I'd love to say that he's going to be our franchise quarterback. He's going to lead us, take us to big places. But as a Jaguars realist and Jaguars fan that suffered through all the bad times for the last 10 years, I know how hard it is to find a franchise quarterback. You know, the best quarterback we've had in franchise history was Mark Brunell. And the second best quarterback in franchise history is a legitimate argument between David Garrard, Blake Bortles, and amongst others. So I wasn't a guy that really lived through the Mark Brunell era, so I haven't really seen any great quarterbacks for the Jaguars. So my standards are low, and really Nick Foles just has to be above average for me to think he's a great quarterback. So, I mean, it depends on what Nick Foles he's getting. I mean, it seems like he's a guy that's coming into really the prime of his career. I mean, he seems to be mentally right. He seems to have the confidence now after he was contemplating retirement, after he really didn't know what he wanted to do. But Nick Foles, man, I hope he can be all that the Jaguars coaching staff paid him to be, all that we brought him in to be, and hopefully he can lead this offense. He can finally clear out the box a little bit for Leonard Fournette to ground and pound in the run game, for finally throw a spiral out to our wide receivers like D.D. Westbrook, DJ Chark, Chris Conley, to our new tight ends, and just hopefully we can have a threat in our offense, because I'm just tired of playing great defense and running the ball well and just having to clinch my butthole every game that my quarterback won't throw a damn interception. So, Nick Foles, do your thing. BDN, Old St. Nick. I'll be rooting for you, buddy. So, yeah, those were my 5 most intriguing Jaguars going into the 2019 season. Very excited about this season, guys. I think. Don't let me down, Jaguars. But thank you guys all so much for watching this video. As always, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share with your friends, share with your mom, share with your sister, share with your grandpa, share with everybody. I don't care. Share the video. And I appreciate everyone for watching once again. And go Jaguars.